Jai Shri Krishna. Today is Janmashtami, so we will talk about Krishna more, relevance of Krishna, right? But it would be interactive, you know. Now the wind started from behind. Yes, yeah. So if you are you listening? Are you here? Yeah. Finished talking between each other. The if you take the life of Krishna as a whole, he lived about 125 years. You know, he lived very little time on earth. That time, lifespan was 1,000 years. In Dwapara Yuga, lifespan was 1,000 years, and Krishna lived only 125 years. So uh, it's about like 30 years, 32 years of this Kali Yuga. Here the lifespan is 100 years, 120. So a person living up to 30, 32, it's very little time. Same like that, Krishna lived only very little time. So if you look at his life, if you read the whole life of Krishna, one is the intensity. There's not a dull moment. In every aspect of his life, if you take, as a child, as a youth, as every level you take, intense, action packed, intense, no wastage of time. That's how he becomes an avatar. No wasting time. Purpose, purpose, purpose all the time. One of the aspect is the intensity. Remember these words. Second, if you take Krishna's life as a whole, he's always practical. See, it's not all the time he was speaking Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? He was not talking philosophy most of his life. He spoke those things sparingly. So, but they are everlasting truths. So it's delivered uh, across time. Whatever he spoke went across time because they are all truths which are eternal. So this is second aspect. Always practical. Every decision he took, every action he did, he made, everything is practical. You will not see him thinking, okay, should I do this? There's no confusion. How can you gain this clarity? How can you gain clarity? When your purpose is clear, when you know where you're going, every step will be purposeful. If you are unsure about where you're going, confusion after confusion will haunt you. So this is one of the major, so intensity, practicality. The third operating level, acceptability. He is accepted in every level. As a child, he is accepted. He is loved as a child. As a youth, he was romanced, he was accepted. As a king, he was accepted. And in every level you take, in every aspect of life, everything he did, his acceptance level was very high. Why? Because he believed in what he did. He believed in everything he did. He is accused of waging the war and destroying families. Even at that time, people used to accuse him. Even the mother of Kauravas accused him. You are responsible for the death of my children. You killed them. So people accused him. But he tried his best to avoid a war. But in certain situations, a war is inevitable. Total destruction is inevitable. First of all, Dwapara Yuga was coming to an end. The era was ending. When Krishna left the body, the era ended also, almost simultaneous time. So he knew the era will end. Situation will change. What comes next? Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga means unconscious, mind-oriented people. Consciousness is missing. So this is coming now. And many things which you perceive or you talk will not be applicable in Kali Yuga. What is more applicable in Kali Yuga? What mind and intellect can offer. This is what is more sold in Kali Yuga. But consciousness, aspects of consciousness, awareness, these are all not so accepted in Kali Yuga. So the Kali Yuga was taking shape, and Krishna knew this. And what he came for, all the avatars happened for one reason: preservation of dharma. So he came for that, and he tried his best. He went and tried to negotiate with the with Kauravas on behalf of Pandavas, say that why don't you part the kingdom? 50% you rule, 50% let them rule. They said no. Okay, give them 5 cities. Each one manages a city as a mayor. They said no. Okay, give them 5 villages. Let them be village chiefs of 5 villages. They said no. Okay, 5 houses. No. One house for 5 people? No. They have to go to the forest. Then what is left? Fight for your right. That's the only thing which is left. That was not Krishna's fault. That was not Krishna's fault. He actually tried his best to make a sense to the people who are unconscious. By the time, towards the end of the Dwapara Yuga, by the time, it's not towards the end, when this war was happening also, the unconsciousness was settling in. Ownership was already settling in. Ownership was already, okay, this is mine, I have to keep it, I have to hold it. Possessiveness, this was already settling in. So that is a sign of the time yet to come. What will happen after Krishna is a sign, the same thing. Mine, this is me, this is mine. So that was already happening. So selflessness was dying. So in this context, Krishna knew very well there is no other way. War has to happen. War will happen. War happened. So, but if you see that he has been objective, he has been flexible, he tried negotiations in his own way, but it didn't work. And finally, when the war was over and all the Kauravas were wiped out, 100 children plus wiped out, and then Gandhari, the mother of the children, or who died, all of them died, said she wanted to see Krishna. All her life, she had blindfolded herself because her husband was blind. When she was marrying him, Dhritarashtra, when Dhritarashtra was blind and he was the king, so when she married him, she realized that her husband cannot see. So she also took a vow. He can't see, I will not see either. She blindfolded herself and supported the husband, or was with the husband as a blind person. So husband is not seeing, wife is not seeing. If both of them do not see, family goes haywire. So what happens? There is chaos within. And it was, so when, after the war, when Gandhari wanted to see Krishna, and she lifted the blind a little bit, so she could see the toes of Krishna. Beautiful toes, good nails. Yeah. And it burned. It burned because the intensity of her gaze, a person who has not seen anything in the world, looked at the toes, the fire was so intense, it burned. And she told Krishna, Krishna, you are responsible for this. Your clan will die, or your clan, your own people will perish, just like my people perished. Cursed him. So Krishna was smiling. Krishna said, I know this, mother. Thank you for reconfirming this. My clan also will perish. As Dwapara Yuga is moving, even these people will perish. I know this. And then she said, but you are responsible. So Krishna said, no, mother, I'm not responsible. You are responsible. How? If your husband cannot see, you should have seen. Not that your husband can't see, I also will not see. This is foolishness. So you did not see what was happening in your own family. The adharma which was playing out, you did not see. So you should have seen if he can't see. See, this is very vital in our life. Everything should be complementing. You know, in the name of love, in the name of support, if you do foolish things, it will affect the entire clan, not just family. Families can be affected. This affected many families. And what they were doing in life, none of these people saw. They only heard. And what you hear may not be true. All that you hear may not be true. They are all versions. opinions. Opinions are versions. Nobody can see the full picture, right? So when they convey something, they are opinions. And if you base on opinions, your decisions will go wrong. That happened. Sycophants, what will they say to a king? Everything is good. Your children are amazing. They're doing wonderful job. So the king and the queen, who are both blind, were misled. Eventually, when the entire thing was wiped off, nobody could do anything. There was no way you could repair it. And Krishna, his own people experienced the same thing. I think you know the story, right? The Yadava clan, because Krishna was powerful, and he made the best ever city in Dwaraka. Everybody was awed to see that city, amazing city, all sorts of things. And Krishna knew that this will go underwater. Still he made it. Please remember this. You may know things may go wrong, but don't stop your dharma. What you have to do, you do. It may not last some time because the other factors may affect it, but you do your job. Even if you know things may not work well in the future, today is your time to do what you have to do. Doesn't matter how it will be in the future. Maybe it will work, or maybe it will last, maybe it won't last, but you do your part. If you don't do your part, you miss it completely. That means you are performing in a way adharma. A time is given, space is given, idea is given, intelligence is given, people are given. All things are given, and if you don't perform, what does that mean? You wasted it. So Krishna did it. Krishna made the best ever palace, fully knowing that Dwaraka will go underwater. And how do you know that he knew this? How do you know? Because just before the catastrophe struck the land, he moved all the women and children and all these people to Vrindavan. He shifted them. He shifted them to Mathura and Vrindavan. So by the time the deluge happened, the flood happened, tsunami happened, they were all gone. So everything has a purpose. And purpose is very clear for the master, he was an avatar. Very clear. And every step he took, every action he did, everything was purposeful. There was no vague action. There was nothing vague. Nothing vague. So these are all signs which you can see in his life. There are so many things to say. And also the Yadava clan became very egoistic because Krishna is leading the show. A very powerful master, a very powerful king. And also the 100% dharma oriented. That is why he had 16,008 wives. He was completely dharma oriented. You know how he got so many wives? Anybody? Vigneshwara? I know that was extra. that was separate. I'm talking about wives, official. Yeah. No, Vigneshwara want to sing a song. Yeah, Jarasandha had a lot of people in his jails, in his prisons, and they were all kind of kidnapped. Kidnapped means they were like he acquired a lot of lands, and he conquered places, and he took people, put them in prison. There were many women, many men, many children in the prison. When Krishna defeated him, he told them, now you're free, go back home. All of you are free. Everybody in the prison was released. You're free, you can go home. And many of them, they were happy. They were happy. Jarasandha was giving them food in the jail. So he was in the prison. They were all in the prison, and they had food. When they went back home, nobody wanted them. Ex-convicts. Their own people rejected them. Their own people didn't want them because they're all ex-convicts. They were from prison. So these people with a lot of hope went home, thinking that rest of their lives they can live in peace, but nobody wanted them. So they all came back to Krishna. Many, many women, many men, everybody. So what he did was he gave royal wife status to all the women. He didn't marry them, but he gave them royal wife status. So what happens from the court? A particular money will go to them. Every month, an amount will go to him, go to them. And some of these women were 90-year-old, very old. But everybody started getting money. Automatically, social status. With money, what you get? Then nobody cares whether you are ex-convict. Nobody is bothered. You know, if you have money, it doesn't matter, right? So they got social status. So what Krishna gave them was a social status as royal wives. And naturally, some of them, some people were ready to marry them. The younger ones, they were ready to marry. Even the older ones, no problem. Because if you have money, it doesn't matter. So everybody, they had their position in the society. Wasn't it a revolutionary idea? So that's what people call that he's been having many wives. Of course, he had romance, but you should be romantic, right, in life. If you are not romantic in life, what are you? You know, if you are very dry and bored in life, you're boring to everybody in the world. So romance is a state when your heart is fully open. Like Deva explained this. When your heart is fully open, all you can do is love. All you are is love. There's nothing else you can be. There's no way you can be hatred. You cannot be jealous. There's nothing. You just love.
You can't be divided into two anywhere.
Yep.
You can't have an opponent. Oh wow, no opponents, no other one that I have a fight with. We're here together. Oh yeah, that's and that's us. Yeah, we're here together.
This is the state you arrive at, a state where all your chakras are open. You're full of love. People can't see that because all those strung chakras, people, you know, they don't see, oh, why is he romantic? Romantic doesn't mean it's a romance to a woman. He's romantic by nature. For everything, this love aspect. Love aspect is overflowing, and that's visible everywhere. And this is what happens to you at a certain stage. That was Krishna. So people got attracted to him. That's called Krishnatva, a state of being Krishna. What does that mean? Very attractive. You are that. You are attractive. You attract people. You attract minds. Because you are, all your chakras are open. And you're like spreading brightness everywhere you go. You see, one of the things that he was going to see Duryodhana. Duryodhana is the king of, or the eldest of, Kauravas, who got defeated later. He was going to see, and the chariot was ready for Krishna. Krishna was a king, right? Chariot was ready. The driver of the charioteer driver was ready. And he was sitting in the chariot for long. Normally, Krishna dresses up very fast. He doesn't waste time. Very quick. And in no time, he's ready. But this time, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, he's not coming. He's not coming. He's dressing up. Then the charioteer finally went, and everybody was welcome in his house. So there is no hierarchy. Charioteer went to Krishna, and Krishna was still looking in the mirror, tidying his face up, making sure he's pretty. So then he asked, why are you dressing up so much? This is very rare to see you like this. You're beautifying yourself a lot. So Krishna said, I'm going to see a very important person. Then said, who's this important person, my lord? Then I said, this is Duryodhana. So he's important. Of course, he's a king. So you have to dress up accordingly to go and see him. So he said, but my lord, you are an avatar. You are extraordinary. You are an avatar. They should come and see you, not that you go there with all this dressed up state. Then he said, no. Have you ever seen darkness coming to light? darkness never comes to light. Always light goes to darkness. You see? So then, but why are you dressing up? You can go as you are and you will be accepted. No, no, no. They cannot see who I am. He cannot see who I am. So at least let him see my dress. He has no idea who I am. So he will only assume as per his concept or his imagination. He can't see me. So let him at least see my attire. You know, the golden attire and all this, so that will be impressive for him. A blind person, blind means blind to the reality, will only see what is visible. But if a person like if Vyasa or those kind of people will know who is Krishna, truly who he is, and even if Krishna is not wearing anything, any dress which is like rich or good dress, they will still know who is Krishna. As a shepherd, they understood. It's not shepherd, cow. Yeah, as a keeper of cows, they understood him. You see, so he said, he can't see me, so let him at least connect to my dress. This is the point. So see, you look at this person, you know, everything as per what is the need. His positioning is as per what's the need. And also, when Panchali was being disrespected in the court, in the court, Krishna didn't come straight away. You know, when she was arguing and fighting, he didn't turn up. When she called his name, he appeared. And he saved her. Why did he wait? Yes, Vigneshwara? No. Absolutely, free will. No master ever interferes in anybody's free will. Even if you are experiencing hardships, if you don't call out, help won't come. Jesus has said this, knock and the door will be open. Why? Because in every true path, always free will is respected. Nobody will encroach into somebody's affairs and say, okay, let me help you. Krishna never did that either. You know, that's the true master. True master always gives you free will. You know. Clear? What else can I talk about Krishna? So many things to tell about him. When you start talking, there's no end to. Yes, Swami Govinda. The mic, yeah.
Could you speak about Radha Krishna and Krishna and his gopis?
Yes, the romantic, the real romance. See, from senses to consciousness, if you sum it up, from senses to consciousness. See, we are oriented. All our senses are oriented to the world outside, right? We are oriented, and we are all oriented to the world outside for the sake of experience, and that's why we have come here, taken a body to experience life in various aspects. So Krishna, as I said earlier, he was very attractive and enchanting. His aura was so strong. See, a karmic being will automatically, the body, the demeanor, everything will be visible as a karmic being. When karma ends and dharma starts, the body also responds like that. Even if a person, sometimes people leave the body. When karma ends, they leave the body. Or karma is not, if they are not able to fulfill the karma with that body, still they will leave the body for another incarnation. So in this case of any person who got self-realized and they understood they are the subtle, and they understood that, experienced, not understood, experienced they are the subtle, and they start stabilizing in themselves, karma dies. There is no desire pattern working anymore. All of them died. Then what happens in the body? The body starts, there will be no smell or no thing from the body. When the person becomes supreme consciousness, when he starts operating from the level of consciousness, fragrance starts from the body. That is why they say when Krishna was coming, the fragrance was reaching before he comes. That fragrance comes because he's operating from supreme consciousness. His body emits that fragrance. This was very enchanting. So Gopas and Gopis, all of them run out of the house when they feel he's around. So this is a very attractive thing. So as I said before, a karmic being cannot have order of the body or whatever. It'll be normal, usual human thing. And when the karma ends and dharma starts, it'll be no order state. Then when that shifts to consciousness side, when the person is operating from larger dimension, higher dimension, expanded consciousness, it'll be a great odor that comes from the body. And many people camouflage it so that people don't know what is who they are, because this is the best thing to do. Because who comes to you normally? Who has a great sense of smell? And mostly stupid people sometimes. So better to avoid them. So that what they do is that they camouflage. But Krishna he couldn't camouflage because he was so strong in his consciousness. He was consciousness. He was an avatar. So that was attracting people. Then first and foremost, what attracts when an attraction happens for anybody coming close, how will they feel first? Through the senses. The desire pattern starts within them in the sensory ways. Physical touch, the fragrance, the sound, the sound of the flute, all those things. They were so enchanting that you can't leave them. When Krishna goes away, they all feel dull because the energy drops suddenly, because this was like a levitational energy going through the whole entire Vrindavan. And when he leaves, it drops down because his presence was powerful, his fragrance naturally was powerful. All these things they were attracted to. So when somebody is attracting, first and foremost would be the physical. And then comes metaphysical. That is later. So the old Rasa Leela activity, these are all connected to this transition from physical to metaphysical. The Rasa Leela, translated roughly, means union of unit soul with the universal soul. So Krishna represented the universal soul, supreme consciousness, and these are all walking consciousness. They all come, and as I said, this is not very beautiful young girls all the time. All kinds of people were attracted. The sick and the lame and the old and the child, everybody was attracted to him. Why? Because it's unignorable. The presence is so powerful, unignorable. So it gets attracted. But again, please remember, the same person, when he went for negotiation with the Kauravas, it didn't work. So what happened there? Mind and intellect got on the way. They ignored all that he is. Maybe he wore a perfume to hide his things, so they only smell the perfume. So that's okay. But even otherwise, the same thing did not work with them. You know what I mean? So it is all contextual. But the pure-hearted village women, village men, village people, they were happy to connect. They were very enchanted. Now Radha, I'm not at all talking about the actual relationship, but you look at the symbolic relationship. Radha, epitome of selflessness. There are many stories connected to it. See, when the wives or the people who are close to Krishna became terribly jealous about Radha, her connection with Krishna. So what they did was, they wanted to hurt her. What they did was, gave a glass of boiling milk to Radha and said, Krishna sent this. So whatever Krishna sends, Radha will consume. This was boiling milk. You can't drink it. It's very hot. She drank it, drank the whole thing, and gave the glass back. Krishna sent it, right? So no problem. And when in the noon time, when Krishna came for lunch, they had prepared all sorts of nice food for him. Krishna said, I can't eat anything. My whole throat is burnt. But nothing happened to Radha. Krishna's throat is burnt. What does that mean? Supreme connection. That's exactly how the love looks like. You look at the human love now. Everything is conditional. You do this to me, I do this to you. Transactional, conditional. It never works. you will never experience that oneness. Here, Radha drank milk, Krishna's throat is burnt. Another example, Krishna had stomach pain, stomach upset, you know, and he he was rolling in the bed because of pain, a very big pain. So the physicians came and said they tried medicines, they tried various things, didn't work because sometimes things don't work with an avatar. So and then Krishna said, "I'll give you a very simple solution. This is something to do with evil eye, people's drishti, jealousy of people. It affected my stomach. So if you get water after washing the feet of my wives, I'll drink that and it'll be solved. Very simple." So the people, the servants, the attendants went to the wives, to Satyabhama, Rukmini, the wives, original like ordained wives in the house. They said, "Can you please wash your feet and give the water? Krishna wants to drink it." I said, "What? We wash the feet and give water to Krishna for drinking? No way. He's our husband." Huh? No, they didn't give. And they came back and said they are not giving that water. They said, no, we can't do that. It's a big sin. If we wash our feet and give that water for Krishna to drink, it's a big sin. We won't give it. So Krishna said, don't worry. Go to Radha and ask the same thing. So they went to Radha and said, Krishna wants the water after washing your feet, that water. They said, oh, what happened? I said, Krishna is not feeling well. He said, this is the remedy. Oh, really? Immediately she did and gave it. And he drank the water and he was problem solved. So when love overflows and becomes oneness, there is no, that person becomes a deity. That's why you can see Radha Krishna temples more. Because the love aspect, the oneness aspect, elevated the unit to universality. So the unit became universal. The elevation of awareness made the person a deity, eternal. There are many stories like that. So, see, there are gossips going on, right? So some women came and told Radha, you know what? You think Krishna loves you? You see, he's sleeping with a lot of women. He's a very romantic man. Sometimes he can't control his romance. So he's sleeping with a lot of women. So Radha said, oh, really? Is he happy? Her question was, is he happy? All she wanted to see was, is he happy? She never cared who he slept with. He never cared who he slept with. Connection, oneness, a very, very high level of romance. So Radha and Krishna are it's symbolically, it's 100% surrender, total love. I mean, you can't even explain these things. Love, etc. becomes 4-letter word today because WhatsApp love is one heart finished. So, but love, this is love. For Hanuman to Ram, that love, when Sita Devi gave him a diamond necklace as a gift, Hanuman took out all the diamonds to see if Ram's face is there and threw away. If Ram's face is not there, he doesn't want it. That's real connection, which made Hanuman a deity. So we all have the power to become deities. We all have the power to become very high in our state. Our stature can grow, but we don't try. We are always trying to analyze from the mind level. Mediocre. So these gopis and gopas, their unions, it could be physical union, it could be sexual union. But that's not important. What is important is that Krishna was available to all. At one point in time, all the people who connected to him felt him, had him, multiple places, multiple times, even after he left the body. See, now we are trying to make this Guruvayur temple, Krishna temple in London, in Vrindavan. What is why Krishna, 8-year-old Krishna? The idol is that of 8-year-old Krishna. This temple, this has got a very big history. This temple is in Guruvayur in Kerala. But we are trying to make the same in London now. We just launched the brochure 2 days ago. You know why this temple? Why I'm really feeling connected, or I'm connected to this temple right from my childhood, because all of us from Kerala will be connected to Guruvayur temple mostly. This idol originally it's come from Vaikunth. The story goes like this. The story is this idol, that is when Brahma, where is Brahma sitting? On a lotus. Where? On the navel of Mahavishnu, right? So he told Mahavishnu, you're so big, you're vast. I can't even look at you, I can't see you. Wherever I look, it's Mahavishnu. But how will I see? See, like there is this whole earth and the whole universe is supported by consciousness. Can you see consciousness? That's why we have idols. You need something tangible to connect to. You need a location to focus. That's why we have idols. So Brahma said, I can't see you. You are so vast, so big, so unfathomable, unknowable. How do I find you? So he manifested this idol with 4 hands and the Shanga, Chakra, Gada, Padma, all the symbols, and gave it to him. Worship this, it will reach me. Symbolic representation of the consciousness. So Brahma was worshipping, connecting to it, and he was connecting to the consciousness called Vishnu. And later, earth, the creators started, the Prajapatis. What are Prajapatis? They are just like our sculptors and painters and artists, architects. What their job was to bring forth life on earth, and they created innumerable things, lot of things on earth. That's what they are called Brahma's children. I mean, their power of creation. How do you do it? Just like the Prana Pradishta. They knew the technology of mixing the earth, water, air, fire, space all put together. All the elements are mixed, and they could bring in life force energy, just like we do Prana Pradishta in temples. We have an idol, we have a statue, and then through rituals, we bring energy into it, then it becomes a deity. Similarly, the system is same. Similarly, they had the power to induce life into objects. That is how they created all kinds of things. They see, as we speak, there are other worlds also. Similar things are happening in other worlds, not here. Similar things are, and everything has an evolutionary thing. See, they're multiplying. Like, for example, instinctual things. Instinct is first and foremost is survival. All beings have survival instinct, right? Main instinct is survival. That is why we are running around finding our way to survive. And food, water, sleep, sex, they are all connected to instinct. Every being has it for the next generation and the next generation to happen. So this is part of creation. So all these people came, the Prajapatis, not from earth. They all came from different locations. They go to different locations, and their job is like a sculptor, like a painter, to create more and more stuff as per their imagination. You see various beings, very colorful beings. You know, some are very beautiful, but they can't enjoy their own beauty. Many, see, except human beings, no other beings can experience beauty. You know, they only look at utility. You know, they don't look at beauty. So all these happened. So then the idol was passed on to Prajapatis by Brahma. Okay, you are going, one of the sustenance Lord of sustenance is here. Mahavishnu, the one who maintains. Keep him with you. So they started worshipping. Finally, it came to the father of Krishna, Vasudeva. And Vasudeva was worshipping the same idol in the prison. And when Krishna was born in the prison, he looked exactly like this idol. 4 hands and stuff. Vasudeva told Krishna, you won't be able to live in this world like this. You know, you will be considered as a freak, abnormal. So why don't you have a normal form? So Krishna made himself as a normal boy. And then later Vasudeva left the body. The idol came to Krishna. Krishna installed the idol in Dwaraka and worshipped this idol in Dwaraka. And as I told earlier, Krishna knew Dwaraka will go underwater at some point in time. So he told Uddhava, his friend, to tell Brihaspati, the guru of gods, to take the idol and keep this idol or place this idol at a place where it will be continued to be worshipped. By the time Brihaspati came, Dwaraka was already underwater. And with the help of his disciples, Varuna, which is the lord of seas, and Vayu, the Vayu Deva, the lord of wind, brought the idol to the shore and he picked up the idol. And then, with the help of Vayu, he started looking for the right location. Then he met Parashurama. Parashurama said, there's a new place created, salvaged from the sea. That's in the south. Go there, and that land is virgin land. Right place for this idol to stay. So he took the idol, and then there, when he reached there, he saw at one point Shiva and Parvati staying there already. So he spoke to Shiva. Shiva said, this is the place. That is Guruvayur. Guru is Brihaspati and Vayu is Lord of. They both brought the idol there. That's why the Guru Vayu. And then Vishwakarma, the architect of the gods, they made the temple, the structure, and the idol was installed. And the first worship was done by Shiva himself. So that's that importance of Guruvayur. I have always thought that Guruvayur, this Lord of Guruvayur, should also be in Vrindavan, because that's where Krishna was worshipping him initially, before he took the idol to Dwaraka. So now the process is on. We have acquired about 6 acres of land. More land we have to acquire. And so I happen to tell this to the chief priest. So they don't usually go outside and do this prana pratishtha. They are already occupied with their activities there. But he said, if you make the temple, I will do the prana pratishtha. I said, sure, I'll make it. That's how the whole thing started, and we're moving forward. Now the next one is coming in London. We just, a day before yesterday, we released the brochure. So what I'm saying is that Krishna's presence, that Krishna, 8-year-old Krishna, small Krishna, how many miracles, So many people have seen him. So many people. Yesterday I was reading about one of the miracles he did. This is many years ago, probably a century ago, a priest who was doing the worship, the pujas there, he didn't have money. He really needed money, but he didn't have money. So what he did was he started stealing some things from the temple and take it home, and he did something because of that, and he didn't stop it, because it becomes habit, First time stealing, your heart will ache. Second time, third time, then fourth time, it becomes your habit. Then there's no conscience issue. So he's taken it, and then one day, it went on for some time, and Krishna ignored it. Let this guy take some things. And after a while, when it became too much, Krishna decided to do something about it. And there was a dream. His wife had a dream that their son is bitten by a snake and is dying. So next day, one person came and said, I am a doctor for this poison. I saw that your son will be bitten by a snake and he will have this issue, but we can ward it off, no problem. So he brought two bowls. He said, put all your gold in this bowl and water in this, and close both, and you pray. And by the time the prayers are done, your son will be saved from this problem. So they see, you do anything for your children, right? If it's a family member, you'll do everything. So they did all that. And he said, okay, and you keep your eyes closed and sit there, pray. And he left, taking one bowl with him. That was the bowl with the gold. So all that had all the gold which this guy stole from the temple. And they couldn't trace him. Next day when he came to the temple to do puja, all this was sitting there. Then Krishna himself brought it back. Then he realized, oh, this was a mistake. And so many stories like that. A miracle after miracle. So only with his grace this will happen. We are only trying to attempt it. Shubhasri is involved. Right. So this is some story of, I think I told you about gopis and gobas and Radha. Any more questions? Yeah.
The thing that you mentioned there about the smell, the cosmic consciousness.
Yeah, yeah.
I experienced that with you
Oh.
when on the first week I met you. So one of the sessions there, I said, but there was no candle or anything. I had to go and check. So it was you. So
I don't know,
could appreciate that
sometimes it
with you.
happens, I don't know. Yeah, yes, I'll come to you. I want to tell you something. See, we are reducing ourselves, nobody else. So we blame the society, we blame the people, we blame so many things just for convenience sake. But who's actually diminishing you? Ourselves. We diminish ourselves. You know what happens? See, we have this. See, I'm telling this in the basic raw level so that it's understood. We have this basic chakra structure, right? Which is connected to ether. Ether is one part of our system, and this chakra structure are the way the energy moves within our system, which is intangible. You can't see it, but this chakra structure was given so that everywhere the energy is transmitted equally or uniformly. When all the chakras are in alignment, there are so many things, like in some of our meditations, the focus is on alignment of chakras. Why? Because if you have to be effective in the world, your system should be aligned. Imagine you have stomach upset. Can you meditate? You can't concentrate. So everything is connected to alignment, stability, all these things. So what happens is, like for example, how much of junk we consume. See, three levels of consumption. One is food. If we consume good food, it helps our body. Then second level of consumption are emotions. It is directly going into the mind. What processes emotions? Mind processes emotion. Third are informations, which goes directly to intellect. These three, if you do not regulate properly, if you do not consume uh, in a regulated way, it affects our system. And what happens? Many times we talk about people. This person is not good. That person is not good. He didn't do this right. All these talks are shrinking the chakras. Which chakras are shrunk? From the stomach below. Solar plexus, second, first. Usually. These, from the chest onwards, it's mostly connected to elevation, levitation. That will not be bothered. That will not be affected. But of course, heart is affected. When you hate somebody, directly it affects your heart. When you do not like something, you're against something. That's why I said activism, etc., becomes sometimes a very strenuous thing. It affects your anahata directly. See, when we talk about open heart means not heart open surgery. Open chakras, the anahata, the middle, the center of the heart. It means that you are filled with love, filled with you can't even think about hatred. You cannot hate anything. There is no expectation also. Even expectation can cause disappointment. There's no expectation, just love. So that doesn't mean naivety. Please don't think that when you are full of love, you are naive. Naive is stupidity. You need to know that Upanishad says very clearly. Don't say that you didn't know the snake will bite and put the snake on your lap. It will bite. That intelligence God has given you. Don't say that the fire will not burn you. Touch the fire. The fire will burn you. So avoid touching it. You see, so these intelligence things nobody can teach you. It is part of our system. It's part of our instinct to stay alive. But when we involve with this mediocre things, hey, look here, this guy is. So what happens is that all the chakras get shrunk. When they are shrunk, instead of opening, the other way around, it kind of become bound and you become terribly mediocre. Next thing what happens is tamas, inertia. Because all are mediocre. All are shrunk. Because you're talking bad, you're talking about people. See, look at what you see around the world, 8 billion people. 8 billion karmic beings. There are 8 billion karmic beings. They will respond or they will do their thing as per their karmic structure. There is a past, present and future in everything. And they cannot move beyond their karmic framework. how are we to judge them? Who are we to judge them? We can't judge them. Why something happens or why somebody behaves in some way, why the meeting and the parting happens, why the connection is intimate or distant, this is all regulated by karmic structure. So if we have that awareness and if we stop judging people and if we discard the past, whatever happened in the past, it's okay, all gone. Fine, present, further. So what happens when you go like that in the present and flowing through the present, what will happen is that you will be extremely stable. This is fundamental for spiritual growth. Not just spiritual growth, even the marketplace maturity. You need to be stable. And for stability's sake, don't consume junk. Information, emotion, food. Don't ever consume the junk. This is very, very important, very vital. And if you still do that, understand, even if you get the best of masters, nothing will happen to you. Because there will be no connection, there will be no communication. So when you really want to operate in the highest dimension, because every life has a potential to catch the highest. Every life is important. Each life we have got this opportunity, whether we know it or not, to reach and touch the highest. And the best masters you might have met to take you there. But you can't use them if you operate only from the level of emotion and ego, pride, judgment, criticism, analysis. You will never rise. So it is important for us to discard these kind of things and should be bold enough to say no to spurious information. This is what sells in the world, right? Gossips sell a lot in the world. And we eat them. We consume them. What do we gain out of this? I'm not talking about people whom we are connected. Even film stars or rock stars, gossips, how much are we consuming them? And waste of time. Complete waste of time. Nothing is changing outside because of that. People are living their life. You get stuck with all these things. Waste of time, waste of money, and wasted life. No progress. So this is about usual. Now you are connecting to a master, and you're abusing the master, scandalizing the master, talking bad. What happens is that this portion is completely affected. What does the master gives you? Master is consciousness, right? Who do we call a master? Somebody who has touched the realm of consciousness and stabilized in it. Otherwise, he's not a master. If he's just a mind, not a master. You have mastered your mind. Means mind is not affecting you anymore. Outside things are not affecting you anymore. You're stable in yourself. You're stabilized. You settle down in yourself. Not settle down in Scotland or Australia. You settle down in you. And you're stable there. Right? No place, no time affects you. No people affect you. You withdraw as you want. And you can opt for silence at will. Not compulsive talking. These are all signs of mastery, where you are not a slave of your mind. So a person of that level, what can they give you? Their own stature, what they are. Like we connect to Shiva. When you connect to Shiva long enough, we attain stillness, right? When you connect to Devi, goddess, long enough, we experience activation. All deities have their functionality, state, stature, effect, separately, differently. And nothing is same as the other. So when you connect to a master and then you start talking bad about the master, etc., you close down these chakras. Whatever practice you do, you can go to 1,000 masters. It will not work. This is told in the Guru Gita, right? What did Shiva say? Give the microphone.
In Guru Gita, Shiva said to Parvati that you can criticize Shiva, Vishnu, you'll still be pardoned. But if you criticize your master, Guru, then no one, even I cannot help you, I cannot save you or rescue you.
Even gods or the deities who are established consciousness, they will not be able to help because you close the door. You lock the door. Have you observed when somebody says, I am connected to a master and I don't know about him, I say, stay with him. I always say, am I right? Go back to him. Stay with him. Stay. Why? Because you only need one door to go. Even if you have 10 doors, you cannot use all the doors. How will you go? How will you travel? One door. That one path, one track, or one, this is enough for you. To enter and exit, you need a door. And you have it. It's been given by destiny. Karma brought you here. So when you lock all these chakras because of your own action, nobody can save you. And you waste a lifetime, probably many lifetimes. And then even if you blame other people, what is the use? If you have damaged yourself, and what happens is that when you, at the time of death, exactly what you are, that's getting transferred to the next. Please remember this very carefully. When you are in expanded state, that's what gets transferred to next. Even if you're coming in another body, that software is going to the next, so that you'll go in further expansion. So nothing is wasted. But if you have contracted yourself, you've shrunk, at the time of death, there is no time to repair. You can't repair at the last minute, the soul, as the soul leaves the body, it takes all the memories or your character traits, the structure you have, constitution you have, that goes with it. Physical body is dropped, but whatever is stored in the body goes, and it put in the next body. Next life happens. So in that life, you will be exactly the same. And what happens? The same character traits are shown in the next life. Again, life after life. Many lives. What is the advantage? Only disadvantage. Even if you connect to Krishna, you will not see him. That's what happened to Duryodhana. Avatar came to negotiate with you, and you tried, tie him up. When they said, when Duryodhana said, tie up Krishna, Krishna got up. And he showed his actual form. Divi Surya Sahasrasya, brighter than a million suns. Everybody became blind. All the karmic beings became blind. Who saw? Who were pure in heart. Who were completely innocent and pure in heart, saw the brightness. Divi Surya Sahasrasya, brighter than a million suns. You see? That's the point. The power to see happens to people who have purified themselves. You should cut off all analysis, all doubts, all contaminations, and remain pure. What is best? If you don't like something, as I told yesterday, use your self-respect. Walk away. This is not suitable for me. Thank you very much. I'm leaving. No problem. And you are not contaminating other minds. But if you gossip, you talk bad, you compare, you criticize, you talking about even if in any level you talk bad about other people, your chakras will shrink. It's opposite of love, Love expands, right? Gossip contracts you. Bad talk contracts you. So you become shrunk inside. And whatever you do, it's not easy to open it up. Especially if betrayal happens. Then it's terrible. It's locked and sealed, kind of. Somebody is hurt because of your action or talk. You are shrunk. Other person may walk away, but you are stuck and shrunk. This is something which you should all remember. This has been told by various powerful masters all the time. They said, I don't want to listen. You go away. If somebody tells something on the ears, they said, thank you. Why do people talk to you like this? Those who are shrunk will find another person to be shrunk. They talk to similar people and create a forum of shrunk people. Isn't it? And people buy it. That is why gossip sells a lot. It's aberration, but it sells. So these are things which are very important to understand. Because as you are practicing a path, or practicing in a path, walking the path of Raja Yoga, please understand it's a lifestyle. It is not just activity. Activity complements the lifestyle, but it is not an activity. Activity, as I told yesterday, it's like a boat to cross the river. Once you cross the river, you may not even need the activity. But until you cross the river, you need the activity. Because you need a means to cross. That is okay. But you don't need to carry the boat on your shoulder. Next time you were to cross, another boat will come. Trust that. You see? Now I'll close this because I think Deva is sleeping. We'll I'll close with one more. This story also I have told before. Yamuna River. Krishna, Vrindavan is on the bank of Yamuna. River Yamuna. And Krishna and all the people were there. Krishna was on the other side of Yamuna, and the people from Vrindavan, they wanted to meet him. So they had carried a lot of sweet stuff which Krishna loves to see him. And while they reached the Yamuna, they found the Yamuna is swollen, overflowing, flooded. So they can't cross. So they were thinking, what do we do now? They already made a lot of sweets to give to Krishna with a lot of love. So how will you do it? And while they were looking, they saw one master sitting under a tree and meditating. So they all sat around him. And the master was in deep trance state. And it took a while, and when he opened the eyes, he saw people sitting in front of him. Said, "Oh, you're all here. What can I do for you?" They said, "We came to see Krishna, but the river is swollen. We can't go to the other side. So we just saw you sitting here, so we are just sitting around you." He said, "Okay, what have you brought for Krishna?" So they said, "We made all these sweets for him. He loves sweets, so it's all here." They said, "Show me." And he started eating them. He started eating them, and they were embarrassed. They can't say no to him because he's a great master. He was Vyasa. He was a great master, so they can't say, "Don't do this." And he ate half of that basket. He was hungry. He was hungry, and he consumed it. And then he said, "Okay, now you take it." So they and then he said, "Come with me." And Vyasa took them to the side of the river and said, "If I have not eaten anything, let the river part." And the river parted. They saw with their own eyes that this man was eating. And not just eating a lot. Half the basket is finished. But he said, "If I have not eaten anything, let the river part." And it parted. And they went to the other side. And as they were walking, they saw Krishna lying in a bench under the tree. And then they came and they waited for Krishna to wake up. They have this destiny of waiting for people to wake up. So Krishna was also sleeping and waited, and he woke up and said, "Oh, you're here. What brings you? Oh, nice to see you." And then he said, "Oh, by the way, we brought some sweets for you." I said, No, I can't eat anything. The same thing I ate a short while ago. So when Vyasa was consuming, Krishna was getting. This is same like Radha drank the hot milk, Krishna's throat was affected. That is real connection. Oneness. Until you get there, don't stop. It's not a superficial thing. If you are one with your master, any master, you take your time to find the master. Don't be in a hurry. Because somebody said this is a good master, don't go. Don't go. You take your time, you analyze, you do all sorts of things. And finally, when you connect, don't move. Otherwise, lifetime will be wasted. If you always analyze, then it's waste of time. When you're analyzing, life is happening. When you're analyzing, the life is happening at that time, right? Each time when you sit down and analyze, you're missing the present. Why this happened, why this happened, why this happened, why he behaved like this, talked like this, walked like this, what is this? All these things are unnecessary. Just to go with the experiences. Waste of time. And we waste not just time, we waste lifetimes with stupid analysis, which you get nothing. I always say, when you connect to a master, take your time to connect. Don't be in a hurry. And don't think that because somebody else is connecting, you will connect. Somebody else may say this is a great master, but if you don't feel connection, be bold to walk away. You should feel good to say this is not suiting me. See, Raja Yoga Path, the path we walk, is very, very vast and very intangible, because we are connecting to Supreme Consciousness, right? We do have bhakti, all the deities, etc. But our connection is finally to the brighter than a million suns energy. So many people cannot walk this path. They are connecting to something tangible. That is why we have 330 million deities. Anybody can connect to any deity which suits them and stay there. Stay put. One consciousness, numerous manifestations. Each manifestation represents the consciousness. Please understand. One consciousness, millions of manifestations. Each manifestation represents the consciousness. You connect to any manifestation, you can reach that consciousness. That's the beauty of our path. You see? One consciousness, numerous manifestations. Each manifestation potentially represents the same consciousness. That means all our fathers are one. We are all the children of one father. We are all children of one father. Each person is operating in their plane because that's exactly the variety of creation. Nobody is higher or lower. Nobody is better or worse. Are you with me? Nobody can be compared. Then why do we sit down and compare? Right? Arati is starting, I think. Right? Good. Anybody wants to go for Arati? Go. Proceed. Yeah. I'll take your question. Now, go for Arati if you want to participate. There's no problem. This will be recorded. Yeah.
A few years ago, we traveled through Gujarat, and we went. So there's two questions. We went to the temple that Vishwakarma built.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the wall corners looked like they were cut yesterday. It is so precise.
Yep.
Can you say anything about that?
No, that's exactly the celestial creation, right? See, there is no profit-based building. You know, there are no construction based on profits. Everything human-made have a duration because the whole concept or the mindset is that, okay, I'm creating this for this purpose. There is an expectation, there is a longevity, and there's a connection to the result. That's where you are limited. If you have no love affair with the results of action, you do your best each time. Vishwakarma did it not for his purpose. I'm not teaching you for my growth, right? I'm delivering not for myself. I think I have got what I wanted from this life. So if I'm delivering, it is not for my sake. So when I am not doing it for my sake, I can be myself. If I am looking at your pocket and delivering, I have to please you. Today, most of the construction, all these things are limited because we are trying to be within the boundary of somebody. So it's a very normal thing that we have to shed this ownership aspect. See, one thing you can think about, when can you be very powerful? When you have no ownership, no possessiveness. When you realize that all these things that's happening around is just a manifestation of life, and our interaction gives us experience, our lack of interaction gives us no experience with that. That's the truth. This is the truth. If we interact, we have an experience. If we do not interact, we don't have that experience. This is fine. This is fine. This is how it is. So when somebody builds for the sake of self-satisfaction, it'll be a beautiful product. But today we don't do that. We're looking at the customer. Or will this customer be... People have come and asked me, Mohanji, what sells? I feel ridiculous. I said, I don't know what sells. And I'm not into business. You know, some people ask these questions. What sells in the world? What are you selling? What will you sell? And do you think people are stupid? People understand your motive. They know. They see and they know. They realize. So if you are not honest and truthful to yourself, all your products, whatever, whether it is a building or a material or even non-material, they will all show what's your intention. So the power of intention, purity of intention shows in the structure. Yes.
Question?
Yeah.
The other thing we saw is we went to a temple where Krishna was murdered.
Yeah.
We went to the temple where Krishna was murdered or assassinated.
Assassinated. He didn't die. I mean, nobody murdered him. What happened was okay, 1 second. Krishna, as Rama, had this fight with Bali. Bali was the brother of Sugriva. So Hanuman introduced Sugriva, his friend means his boss, to Sri Rama when Lord Rama was in the forest. I'll tell you the story, how it happened. So Sugriva, you feeling cold as well? Sugriva was an ousted ruler. He was thrown out by his brother. And his brother was very powerful, very strong. And please remember, this is Treta Yuga, another era, where people had metaphysical powers equally as physical powers. When this is combined, they are extraordinarily powerful. Not like these micro people like now, who are just minds. This is different. They do extreme penance, like Ravan spoke to Shiva directly. So that kind of state was there in Treta Yuga. Much lesser people. Lifespan was 10,000 years. In Krishna's time, it was 1,000 years. In our time, it's 100 years. So lifespan reduced already. And we became miniature people. And those were big people, strong people. They had metaphysical powers and physical powers together. So the importance of avatar was purity of purpose. Avatars had only pure purpose, selfless purpose. When it becomes selfish purpose, it becomes karmic. If your operating platform, operating level is selfless, then you are dharmic. This is a difference here. You clear about this? Operating level determines your state. If you're operating with 100% selflessness, you're dharmic. That's what when you work with a guru or in an ashram, etc., predominantly your operating level is selfless. Predominantly. Very little selfishness. So what happens when you're operating in selflessness, it's the operating level it gets pushed to sattva guna. Rajoguna means action with expectation. Here action without expectation, pure action. So that purifies you. Such action automatically purifies you. Here a lot of people were working here, right? These people are not working for the sake of any selfish purpose. So automatically purification happens in them. Nobody has to do something for it. When your activity are of selfless nature, it purifies you. So these were all powerful people. So even Bali was very powerful, spiritually powerful. And so then Sugriva was his brother. He threw him out. But he told his wife, you don't go, I keep you. So these are powerful kings, right? They can do anything. So Hanuman was connected to Sugriva. When Hanuman met Ram in the forest, he understood Ram, and first was fascination. See, Hanuman is seeing somebody non-tribal in the forest. Who do you see in the forest? Tribal people. Ram was not a tribal. So it is a fascination, isn't it? It's like a foreigner coming to a place with the normal people who will feel fascinated because it's not natural to see them. Deva wants to go? Yeah, please, yeah. Nature calls, so you should go. Cushion. Deva carries a cushion to the toilet. Yeah. Now you can walk. All right. So what happens is So then Hanuman introduced Ram to Sugriva, and Ram and Sugriva agreed that they will have a fight with Sugriva will fight his brother Bali, and while they are fighting, Ram will shoot the arrow and kill Bali and give the kingdom to Sugriva. That was the contract. That was the idea. But what happened? They looked alike. Ram could not shoot because he did not know which is which. They both looked same. So what happened? Bali is stronger. He bet him up and threw him out. And Sugriva came back, defeated and injured. So Sugriva said, "You are a good man. You said you will kill my opponent, and you watched the fight, and I got beat up. I came back like this." So his tooth is gone and not looking good. So then he was not happy. So then what happened? He said, "No, I couldn't recognize you. Now you should have some sign on your body, which I can see that it's you, not him." So then next time again, after a while, when he recovered, he went back to fight. And Bali had a gift, a boon, where if somebody comes in front of him, he'll get half his strength. So Ram cannot go in front of him. Half his strength will go to him. Then if your half your strength is gone, then you're already weak. You'll be defeated easily. So Ram hid behind a tree and shot and killed Bali. At the time of the death, Ram came close to Bali. Bali said, "Why did you do this? First of all, this is not dharma. You came to preserve dharma. In dharma, you should directly fight. During daytime, when both can see each other. In the night, when it's invisible, you should not fight, because that's adharma. So when you can see each other, you should fight." So this is what. So this is the situation. So then Ram said that this has to be, but you will repay it. I will make it a point that you can pay it back. That's what happened at Krishna's time. Bali took birth as the hunter, and Krishna was sitting in the forest meditating, and his feet was, this hunter saw his feet through the leaves, and he thought it's a deer. He did not know it was Krishna meditating. His feet was, he felt it's a deer's face. He shot the arrow, it hit Krishna's feet. And then he came and he saw Krishna. He was so apologetic. He said, "I'm very sorry. I did not know it is you." And he took the thing, "No, don't worry. I knew this will happen. Now the job is done. It's repaid. So it's time for me to go anyway. And I will withdraw." And Krishna withdrew it, and he left the soul through the Sahasrar. It is not murder. He left consciously. It was a conscious exit. As he entered, he exited. So it was. This was just like a reminder for him, just to complete that task. So he completed that deal when he shot Bali. That was now, and that also that edge, the sharp edge of the arrow was from a curse for the Yadava clan, the clan of Krishna, by a master. When this Yadava people became so arrogant because of Krishna's presence, etc., very, very egoistic and arrogant, and then the curse came that the entire clan will be destroyed. And they dressed up one man as a woman, pregnant woman, and took him to a powerful master called Durvasa, very powerful master. And he said, you are an amazing master. Can you tell whether the child is a boy or a girl? First of all, this is a man. And they put some pillows and made him look like a woman, and pregnant woman, and asked the master, is this a boy or a girl? So what did the master say? He will give birth to what do you call the rod? A wooden rod. A rod. A stick. Yeah, a wooden rod. And he will deliver. And suddenly he started having pains, labor pains. And he actually delivered this stick, big stick. And he said, that stick will destroy your clan. That's what the curse was. So what they did, they scraped this stick to very tiny pieces, scraped like it's just like a dust, and floated it in the sea, so that now there's no danger. But one piece was left, so that is a very small piece. Well, it's okay, no problem. Threw it in the sea. That piece was eaten by a fish, and the fish was caught by the hunter. And from the fish's belly, he got this piece of stick. He made an arrow with it, and he shot Krishna with it. See how how a curse went all the way. That's why we always say, never ever mess with a master. Don't mess with a master. Nadananda used to say, there is no need for cursing. If you feel at heart, if a master feels, why this person did like that, that's enough. That is called tab. Tab means that, what is that tab? The heat of why this person is doing like this. That's enough to burn you for ages. Sharp is curse. Tab is heat. Heat means you feel inside, right? Why is he doing like this? This is enough. He doesn't have to curse. So here, and what happened? The dust was spread in the sea. And always remember, what you give to the sea brings it back to you in 3 days. That's what they say. In 3 days, you get it back. When somebody jumps in the sea and dies, in 3 days, the dead body comes. So sea doesn't keep anything more than 3 days, unless in the deep sea. Then the sharks will eat you. But if it's near the shore, it will not. So 3 days, all the dust came and started accumulating on the shore. They all started sprouting, growing, and they became like a tall grass or whatever we call grass. And another time, these people, these hooligans, the egoistic people of Krishna, family of Krishna, came, and they were drunk, and they started plucking these things and fighting with each other. This grass, and they killed everybody, each other. They all killed each other. So the curse happened. Gandhari's curse happened, and Krishna's Durvasa's curse happened, and Gandhari's curse also. Gandhari said, told Krishna, your clan will die as my clan died. So that also happened. And Krishna said, I know this. Thank you for reconfirming. So he was not affected. He knew this. Because if ego is your ruling factor, death or destruction is for sure. If pride is your ruling, your motivation, destruction is for sure. If compassion, kindness, love, selflessness, and non-violence is your operating level, glory is for sure. Opposite. You see, for glory to happen, love, kindness, selflessness, non-violence, that will bring you glory. You know, but if you are operating from the level of anger, hatred, jealousy, nepotism, favoritism, all these things, destruction is for sure. Ego, pride, hatred, destruction is for sure to you, naturally. As I told earlier, all your chakras will shrink, all your connections will be of that nature, and everybody will pull each other down. And even if you try to call any kind of God, like Shiva said, I can't help you. Because consciousness is sitting out there, you don't have the capacity to receive it. Who destroyed your capacity? You. You know, the capacity is self-destroyed. So you can't connect. That's what happened. So this is how Krishna left the body. And so don't think that he was murdered. He had to leave, and he finally finishing touches.
At this temple, they had a sculpture of the person. Is it Bali who shot the arrow, or the tribal man who shot the arrow?
Yeah.
They have a sculpture of him, and he looks just like Meher Baba.
Meher Baba.
Meher Baba, exactly like Meher Baba. So there feels like that being saw Krishna off, and then he comes in later on.
No.
Tell me about what is that? How does that
No, nothing to do with Meher Baba.
Okay.
That's all imagination. Maybe he saw a picture of Meher Baba, thought it's a good picture. That's not, no, it's not true. Meher Baba, in his own right, is a powerful master. And, the thing I'll tell you, uh, when you reach a certain level of awareness, you see only the role play. There is no emotion, there is no thing to do, there's no agenda. When this you can experience in life, when all your chakras are open and you become love, all you need, all you feel is that, okay, what can I do for this person now? When somebody comes in front, you deliver everything. Not like if somebody comes like a leech or a mosquito to bite your blood, then you will behave like that. But as the person come, you see the person, and your response will be exactly how the person is. You know, see, and also like Adi Shankara, for example, when a man came and said, "What can Adi Shankara asked, what can I do for you?" He said, "I want your head to do a homa." Adi Shankara said, "Sure, no problem." He doesn't even connect to his body. Now you want to do a homa with my head? Okay, so be it. And he gave himself. That happens because you will not feel anything is yours, including the body. You don't feel anything. So anything about anything. And you will be filled with empathy, not sympathy. You will not sit down and cry. You will do what you can do, or if you can't do something, you walk away. So you will be completely neutral. You'll be completely free from within, and it will show. It will be visible and it will show. So all these are very important to understand. Why we are talking is because here, these places which we have built is to rise to the highest point, not for just from some answers. No, that is easy. I can just give you answers. But if you are not rising, then the whole effort is wasted. You have the capacity to rise. You have the capacity to rise. Huh? Yeah. Bless you. This is very good. I'm telling you. See, why do you think that you should feel all the time? Who tells you this? No, never, never. You should be feeling as you are feeling each time. That's what I told you. Yeah. If you're feeling dull, be dull 100%. Feel that. See, what is your situation? What has destiny given you? Sometimes ecstasy, sometimes zero. Exactly that. This is exactly what all the masters have said. Some person went to Ramana Maharshi and said, "Swami, sometimes I am very dull. I can't do anything. I don't feel anything." Then he asked, "Is it all the time?" He said, "No, sometime." "Okay, be that at that time." Then he said, other time I'm feeling ecstatic, I'm happy." "Okay, be that." This is spirituality. Don't put it on my mouth. I'm not telling you to always be ecstasy. You will arrive at a position where you are ecstatic when you stop being your mind. Understand clearly. When you stop being your mind, you will always be in a state of bliss. That will take time. It will take time. But what you should do, accept every moment. If you're dull, be dull. Experience that state. When you're happy, be happy. Experience that state. When you are interacting with people, whatever is happening in your mind, be that at that time. Every moment, if you accept your current reality, you will go beyond that to the real reality. Clear? Nobody is telling you to feel all the time and pretend all the time to be happy. That won't work. Listen, all these people, listen to me. all these people sitting are not exactly like you. Am I right? Each person in a different level. I am giving my lecture not just for you, for everybody. I have given you the answer for your question. You follow that. Now all these people are in different levels of evolution. Their reality are different. I'm catering to everybody. Now there are people listening online. Each person is in a different world, different frequency, different vibratory level, different level of evolution. All these people are getting what they need. See, as long as you have a mind, you have fluctuation. Am I right? It is always never static, never still. When mind is dissolved, then you reach a level of stability. Until mind is resolved, you will have the uprise and lows. Correct? So you have to follow your pattern, how you are flowing. And that's your reality. Stick to it. Yeah. Next question. You have a question? Yeah.
Okay. How to perform dharma in nowadays in the current times without being affected at any level? What should we keep in mind while performing dharma? That will be the wind beneath our wings.
No expectation. You perform everything without expecting anything in return. You will be affected only when you have expectation. If you have no expectation, you have no disappointment. When you perform something, if you have to make it extremely selfless, you have to stop expecting. Maybe people will appreciate you. Maybe they will not appreciate you. Maybe somebody will accept you. Maybe the people may not accept you. Whether they accept you or reject you, or whether they accept your actions or reject your actions, you do as per your conscience. You perform your best within your best ability, without expectations, and that's good enough for you. So you will not be affected.
Clear to the person who asked it. Another question: what is the difference between self-realization and dissolution?
I've explained that yesterday. Self-realization is realizing what is running your show, what is already inside you. You already have an energy which is activating your body, activating your mind, activating your intellect, and which is activating every state each day. The waking state, dream state, deep sleep state, all these states are activated by this energy. When you begin to realize that energy, you are beginning to understand yourself. When you stabilize yourself in that energy, we call it self-realization. Knowing that the energy is there is one, and being that energy is another. When you become that energy, you are self-realized. Now, dissolution means once you realize you are this energy and you're stable in that energy, and you see that same energy operating through every tree, plant, bird, animal, and you see yourself in all this, and you start experiencing the whole consciousness in action in every field, every world, even not even earth, in other worlds, you are dissolved. You are dissolved into it because you are not bound by your body, your structure, your personality, your character, your constitution. You are everywhere, every time, all times. Then you are dissolved because you are in everything. Then this is what you call when a master becomes dissolved, means expanded beyond dimensions, that samadhi will be as powerful as 1,000 temples. We can see such samadhis, great masters samadhis. It's powerful than like 1,000 temples, where everybody comes as the master when he was living in the body. Even more results come when he is not in the body. If he was attending to 1,000 people when he was in the body, he will attend to millions of people. My bones will speak even after my death. Who said? Sai Baba. Yeah. So that's exactly the thing. These promises, this is what I'm saying. You can become consciousness while you're in the body, and you will remain consciousness even after death. Otherwise, desire patterns pushes you to take another birth, another body. Again, you come back in a body. Again and again, you come back in different bodies. For what? Same kind of desire pattern. Same kinds of desire pattern. It's all similar. If you have the power to see now the regression therapy, you have the power to see various lives. You can see same thing happening. And same kind of emotion, same kind of betrayal, same kind of these things. All these things keeps repeating, and you kept getting trapped in the same kind of situations, relationships, everything, and helplessly, very helplessly. You should never be in a helpless situation, according to me. Why should you be in a helpless situation? You have the power to be in charge. Because you are not just this unit. You are not just one dimensional. You are multidimensional. All the thing you see around is you. Nobody can bind you to one place or one name or one form or one situation. Nobody can. Unless you want it. You see? See, this is why we are celebrating Krishna. Explicit multidimensionality. A master, a god, an avatar with extreme multidimensionality. In every aspect you take, he excels. Why? Because when you do not have the binding of your mind, in every activity you do 100%. There's nothing less than 100%. Otherwise, partially mind is elsewhere, absent-minded, and then you do things half-hearted, and then you regret later. This routine is happening, right? So focus is tilted. When your mind is not there, your activity is not full, complete. What is one purpose of life? Completion. Completion is one of the major purpose of life. And destiny brings you that situation for that completion. Each stages of your life, each year of your existence. What you should complete at the age of 5 will not happen at the age of 50. Because it's a different reality at that time. Even if you get that toffee at the age of 50, you may not even eat it because you have sugar. You see, so everything is given by destiny at the right time. When it is given at the right time, if you fail to use it, fail to honor it, respect it, appreciate it, another time won't come. There's no another time here. See, destiny is pretty strict. It has a particular track from birth to death. What you're supposed to get at the age of 15, even if you get at the age of 50, it is useless. Maybe you won't even value it. So, if you do not experience a thing at your age, your time, your space, you can't experience it fully. So, completion is affected. When completion is affected, you need another time, another body, another space for the same stupid thing. You see? Yeah. No, just be in the present, do your best, and be 100% there. So your experience is completed. And each moment is completed. What happened? When it is incomplete, it's a waste of this life. Everything we touch and we don't complete and we leave, it's wasted. And regret after regret. Please understand, regret and guilt are the most useless emotions of time. Why they happen? Because your presence of mind was missing. Mostly why regret happen is because when your mind should be there, your mind was elsewhere. And then your activity is affected, naturally regret happens. When activity is affected, when you are not there present, when your mind is not focused, you don't get fulfillment, you don't get contentment, satisfaction, then you feel terrible later. Oh, I made a mistake. Unnecessary. You can't go back and correct. When can you correct? Now. Use your present to correct all your past regrets and finish it off. Forgive and forget. You will rise very powerful. You will rise very high and very powerful. This is important in life. So, very good thing to remember during Krishna Janmashtami. You be yourself. Do your best to expand your chakras by operating in love, kindness, selflessness, non-violence, and don't ever indulge in mediocre things, anger, hatred, jealousy, revenge. Especially don't hurt people, don't hurt any beings. You know, whether it is like even, oh, I'm not hurting directly, but I have to eat meat. That means you're sponsoring it. You're not killing, but you're actually sponsoring the killing, murder. And then you can't say that I'm a very kind person. I only eat a little bit of meat every day. And somebody is dying for you. You know, somebody is dying for you. You look at Jesus or Krishna, they were all taking care of animals, right? What is the sign they are giving? It's your duty to protect. It is you've been given the power to protect. Protect. Your strength is when you are able to express kindness in adverse situations. Real strength is when you express kindness during adverse situations. When things are not going right for you, still you express kindness, you are extremely powerful. Second, when you are in the height of power, when you can do anything, you choose kindness, you are very powerful. See, Hitler had a lot of power. If he was choosing kindness, he would have become a god. Now what he's become? Nothing. So when you have power, when you can do things, if you choose to express compassion, choose to express imagine you're rich, very powerful, very rich, and you choose compassion and kindness, and you share wealth with those who don't have it. Support good things. You become extraordinarily rich. You know, otherwise you'll just have money, but a poor man inside. Poverty consciousness. Poverty consciousness eventually makes you poor, physically also. Because of destiny's push, you became rich. But then you are expressing poverty consciousness all the time. What will happen? You attract that reality. You come back to that reality. You know what I mean? So this is all, please remember, these are important messages or important lessons we should learn. We don't have to experience them, but we can know that these things exist. This is how it works. So all the time, please remember, you do your best and leave the rest to Lord Krishna. You do your part. What he has to do, let him do. You know, do your best. You should be happy that, okay, I've completed this. Then leave the rest. Surrender. So that means no betting on the fruits of action. You're not stuck to the result of action. You're not focusing on result. You're doing a good job each time. People appreciate you, people reject you, people criticize you, throw you out, no problem. I've done my job. And where you are unwanted, where you're disrespected, don't stay. So that your self-esteem is kept intact. You know, not escapism. Because I'm lazy, I'm running away. That is escapism. You know, if you're lazy and you don't want to do something, so you're running away. This is escapism. That's not self-esteem. That will make you more of an idiot. You know, you will not actually shine bright. You can't become a legend. Yeah. So this is important to understand. It's all clear now, whatever we discussed. Any questions? Yes, please. Shambhavi. Yeah. Ardi.
Actually, did Lord Krishna really have a blue color?
I never saw him. I never saw him. Why do you think I see? I'm from a different year. I'm in a Kali Yuga product. I'm a Kali Yuga product. No, this is Dwapara Yuga. Krishna's, they in the scriptures is a karmeka. There is a color of the cloud. So that's dark color, dark complexion. Maybe like me. Huh? Color is this barbecue color. So that's why I don't go for sunbathing. People won't see me afterwards. You know, I have to whitewash, or when I smile, sometimes teeth is, oh, he's here. Thank you. Nikhil.
Thank you, Mohanji. This has been very informative, really. It's been
Thank you.
Great. I have one question. Can anyone be a master?
Of course. We are a master. You know why? Why we don't feel it? Because we tend to become the personality. And we invest a lot on our personality, not on consciousness. But the moment you start realizing, I am the energy that's running the show, and partially your mind is occupied in that, not the activity. You be in every activity. As I said, you should have, life is bringing you situation after situation, and you should be there. That is why you have taken birth. This all experiences. But at the same time, you should always remember, keep in mind, hey, I am this energy which is activating me. If the energy leaves me, it's called dead body. Then I don't have experience anymore. So what gives me the power to experience is within me. This is the real me. That thought is enough. You don't have to really work on that thought. Just keep your mind bit parked there, so that you will start feeling that flow of energy. The first level you feel the moving energy. Then you will see the source part, the soul part. Then you will know that, okay, I am actually this. The soul sitting quiet, sitting invisible, like the electricity is sitting invisible in the wires. But when it manifests, it gives you light, it gives you picture, it gives you sound, or it washes your clothes. So same electricity kind of sitting in me, and now it's making my heart beat, it's digestion, all these things are happening. But that energy is inducing this, and you start feeling that energy more and more. And when you start feeling that more and more, you tend to detach from the world outside. That doesn't mean that you'll not involve. You will do everything, but you will not involve as a personality. You will most probably involve as a projection. I am a person, I am projecting these experiences and it's coming to me. So in that level, when you move more and more, you will feel freedom. Hey, I am not the involver, I'm not involved, but I'm experiencing, just like a feature film on the screen. You see all the actors doing the role very well, but they know very well they are acting. You will actually feel the same. I am doing all these roles as a husband, as a son, as a brother or a sister, or a employee or employer, whatever. All these roles you will play with your full dedication. At the same time, full awareness, I'm not that. I'm the actor who's in different dimensions. So you'll start seeing these dimensions separately on each day. Oh, amazing. I'm all these, but I'm none of these. That's the level where you start shifting. And then later on, more and more, you sink into that energy part. And then you start experiencing yourself multidimensionally already. Not just the physical expressions, but also how your perception changes. When your perception changes, you don't see a bird, but you see the energy operating through that bird. And oh, that's the same thing going on in me. And that bird is like that. Okay, oh, the tree. Then you start seeing that all these energies moving through the trees. And you actually start feeling their feelings. So that means you started expanding. You're not limited to your physical form, but you are in every form. And you start connecting to them. Then there is no separation. There is no conflict. It's only that link with the whole thing. But sometimes society may not understand this. When society looks at you, oh, you are a man and your personality and you should behave in these ways. But you are not thinking like that. You're like, okay, this person has come to me. What can I do for this person? That's me in another form. So you feel connected very easily, which may be difficult in the society to follow, but still your freedom nobody can understand. The freedom you experience, nobody can understand. No boundaries. No boundaries, no ownership. Big freedom. So everybody has that potential. In one lifetime, they can reach there. Nobody is inferior, nobody is superior. Why people don't reach there is because their purpose is different. They follow the patterns easily. Why they follow the patterns easily? Because that's connected to comfort zone. Hey, I must have my coffee today. Or I must do this. Oh, no. I'm not interested. So we cut down our flexibility. We cut down our opportunity. And then we kind of restrict ourselves in the cubicle, which is predictable. So when you are focused on the predictability, you're automatically in a trap of the comfort zone. Then we live the whole life like this. And we invest in that and say, this is me. This is me. You project that. Hey, look here. This is me. You see, so people start recognizing you like that, and society loves it. You are predictable. Society loves it. If you're unpredictable, society hates you. So then you think, okay, why do there problems? So let me conform to the society. Predictable. So what is predictable? Be a brick on the wall. Stay there. This is what happens in society. So all people, 8 billion people have the potential to touch they are the consciousness. To awaken that, unlock. See, self-realization is realization of what is already in you. Nobody is giving it to you. It's just unlocking that potential we all have. Shambhavi.
Mohanji, I want to ask, like we discussed before, that when somebody criticizes a master, that even deities don't help them.
That's not said by me. That's said in
Yes.
the Shiva told Parvati.
Yeah, yeah.
Guru
Mohanji.
Gita.
Mohanji, I have family members who do not believe in Guru, and plus they criticize as well. Knowing what can happen to them, it's not nice to see. What can I do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. See, you don't have that responsibility. You have responsibility of how you behave. If you criticize a master, or you forget about master, anybody, that much shrunk you become in your energy field. And that to see, this opposite of expansion and opening, right? What are we trying to do? Open fully to the highest level of potential in this lifetime. That on one side we are doing the chanting, singing, praying, connecting to masters, all those things. On the other side, we are talking bad about people and then we are shrinking. So it's contradictory. This is individualistic. You can only become 100% for you, or you can expand yourself 100% by being connected to the consciousness. In our time, in Kali Yuga, even by plugging into the consciousness of Guru, this is enough for you. Just stay connected. You will be feeling and feeling and feeling the energy and expansion. That's exactly what Hanumanji did. He did not do any Hatha Yoga. He just parked his mind at Ram's feet. And he got Ashtasiddhis and Navanidhis. He became a deity. He became God. So this is all you need. Just stay focused. I always say remember. Not even chant or pray or sing. Just remember with kindness, with love. Not remember to criticize or remember to analyze or remember to doubt. Because that all restrict you. Because it blocks you. Blocks the energy flow. But if you love from deep within, that's what Radha did to Krishna, right? She only asked, is he happy? You know, this is enough. Just that connection will take you very, very high. And if somebody says something bad, you stay away from them. Don't try to stop them, because they will attack you more. And don't try to prove your master why. You wouldn't even know why he's doing these things. Right? Shankar Maharaj was smoking and drinking alcohol. Do you know why he was doing this? We wouldn't know. But he was an amazing master, powerful master. You know, why Shirdi Sai Baba used to smoke chillum? We don't know. He used to spend personal money for buying tobacco. We don't know why he's doing it. But then we know he's a powerful master. It doesn't matter how they behave, how they walk, how they talk, what they do. It doesn't matter. What they are matters. Their presence matters. Their delivery, what they're delivering matters. You know, if they are operating from the level of consciousness, that matters. That's exactly what you're asking for. That's where you are connecting, not what they do or what they look like. Other people, we cannot do anything. Please understand, even if they are our children or parents or anybody, nothing you can do. But one thing you can do, when you become bright light, it'll be visible to everybody. You know, when you are shining bright, it will be visible everywhere. People will look at you. This is what I would like to be. Maybe they will change. That is the best you can do. Right?
Spend 100%.
I'm blessing you all the time. That's why you're sitting here. Yeah. Connection with conviction. Very important. If you connect without belief, nothing will happen. It's a waste of time. If you're doubting and if you're connecting, it's waste of time. You know, if you connect with faith, that's why I said take your time to recognize the master. Once you recognize, connect with conviction. Then everything will come to you. It will be a constant flow of energy, protection. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody is your family. Everything. See these bird feeders, etc. So many birds are happy, right? All this food. See, in these premises, they are all feeling nice, eating food and drinking water. They're happy. And that reflects here. The general happiness reflects here. Otherwise, just a shell, a building, what is it, human-made, man-made buildings. But the energy which we create here, not just the aratis and pujas here, the energy that we create is all the environment is happy. You see?
I don't have a question, but I wanted to share something if it's allowed.
Yes.
Are we still on video?
Go ahead.
So this, I mean, I have definitely probably not seen Krishna in his Dwapar time, but probably we experienced that Krishnatva or the essence of Krishna. No marks for guessing that. But I just wanted to share when you spoke about the odor or the smell. I'm telling what I experienced actually. Previously, I have experienced, and many people have shared this, how suddenly, I mean, somewhere miles, thousands of miles away from Mohanji, people would actually feel his smell. I mean, the perfume that he uses, suddenly it will come up in the room. Many people know that. Some people would actually feel the smell of sandalwood and things like that. So many people have experienced this. For the first time, I experienced no odor. The first time Mohanji came here in June, first night he traveled, and suddenly that night around midnight, Mohanji asked me for a medicine, and I took, because he was having hiccups constant, and that hiccup didn't stop. So I gave the medicine, and he was still having the hiccups constantly. It was probably midnight, I don't know, very late in the night. And then after some time, he said, I need to puke. And then he rushed to the toilet to puke, and then I could hear he was puking. I went behind, and everywhere there's like, dark, deep dark brown water. And Mohanji doesn't, that day, obviously, he doesn't eat dinner in the evening, and probably that day he had one dosa. Dosa is not, no, he didn't eat anything actually. So there was nothing of brown color anyway. I mean, in the lunch, it's just one dosa and chutney. There's nothing brown in that. And he doesn't drink coffee, so there is nothing brown. So I saw dark brown water, and everywhere spilled. Normally, okay, if somebody vomits, vomit smells, right? All of us know vomit smells, and there was no smell and it was a lot. It was spread everywhere. And then after he back, and then I was cleaning. While I was cleaning, I was thinking, how come there is no smell? There absolutely no smell. Then I went back, his hiccups had subsided and he was sleeping. And then I went back to my room and I was thinking, there was this brown color and there is no smell. So this is not that Mohanji has a stomach upset or anything like that. There is something else. And that time I realized that when he came that evening, when he arrived in this space for the first time physically, Mohanji took a round. He went around the space, and I felt that maybe Mohanji did a lot of cleansing or whatever, and probably that's what it had to come home. I mean, probably physically, but because it is nothing karmically. I mean, that time I didn't understand karmically or not karmically, but I knew that it was not ordinary. There is no odor at all. There's no smell. I mean, that was really how even babies when they vomit, that their vomit smells. So that was the first time and then actually I realized that something that we have ignored, that Mohanji's, if you permit, I can say that, like Mohanji's, clothes never smells. In the sense, there's no sweat smell or anything like that. So I mean, once I got the understanding that okay, nothing is smelling, then I realized yes, his clothes also doesn't smell, no sweat smell or something. So yeah, previously we knew of this celestial smell, that fragrance that comes, and now I also experienced that no odor. So So it was for a purpose. Then next morning I did ask him. He didn't say like insignificant. That's all I got it.
These are professional secrets, you know. You don't tell everybody. No.
He'll just ignore looking into mobile.
No, see, many questions do not need answers. You know, many things you don't need answers. Because even if you say, how do you know it's true? See, this is a time of pretensions, you know, show-offs. So better let people experience, and if they understand, they understand. If they don't understand, no problem. Because that's not going to help in any way. But if you realize that there are multiple dimensions possible, it might help you to be inspired, to go further. You know, when I was practicing in the early days, there was no way I know which way I'm going. I'm just practicing. Trust in your practice. Trust in your purity. Your intention should be pure. Action will be pure. If your intention is impure, if it is for selfish reason, whatever you do, it will not work well because you are already focusing on something small. You are multidimensional. Believe so and explore it and achieve it. You have that power. There, everybody comes assistance. All the masters are happy to help. You know, but you stick to one path, one tradition, one guru, you know, one practice, so that if you go further and further in one direction, you'll reach the destination. Otherwise, most of the people are just roaming around, sniffing around, and trying to figure out the entire life. And they don't get it because they are not looking where the thing is. Like, they're not looking at the right direction. It's rotating. And many people are satisfied with the feel good. That's why so many courses, things just to feel good, ointment on the surface. And after a while, again, you're back to square one. People are happy. See, this you can't blame the people who are selling out these things because that's all people need. Quick remedies, you know, quick results. It's not like that. You have to make a lifestyle change. And please remember, everybody is powerful if you drop your mind. All of us are powerful. Mind is not allowing you to believe it. Mind is restricting it and saying that this is your dimension, this is your boundary. Stay here. Yes, same mind you can use for elevating yourself. If you park your mind, that's what Hanumanji did. Why Hanumanji has the face of monkey? Because our mind looks like a monkey. It's a monkey mind. Mind feels like a monkey, right? Jumping from one branch to the other, one thought to the other. So park your mind at the feet of consciousness, which is Ram. You attain Ashta Siddhis and Navanidhis. You are powerful. You become a deity. You become God. Right? Okay, so we'll wind it up now. It's yes. We saw one tree here. We'll cordon that tree off and we'll keep a. It has no battery.
Arun.
Oh,
Arun
Mr.
is not
Bharat
here.
is blocking it.
Now he's unplugged it.
Yeah.
So he showed me the tree. There's a big tree just outside as you go down, and I'll show you that. He showed me a point where he saw it as Mohanji's face, and then he said as he went near to that tree, he felt amazing energy.
Why
So
blame me?
so he called me that day when I saw it looked like Hanuman's face, and I also felt some energy. So I called yesterday Mohanji there to show him, and it does look like. So I asked Mohanji, could it be carved by somebody? So he said, no, it's not carved. It's Soyambhu, means it's self appear manifested. So you can all see. So we need to know. And it's really, you all can try. I mean,
No, because
multiple
Datta
faith-
came here, Sai Baba came here, Ganapati came here, so Hanuman came by himself. Yeah.
So we had the Parabrahma tree anyway.
Yeah.
That's
That is all the
you
Datta's
understand,
signs. Yeah. All right. Have a great Krishna Janmashtami, Shri Krishna Janmashtami. Enjoy. And I think you have the programs today. Experience yourself and remember what we discussed today. You are powerful, be practical, always be flexible, and respect yourself, accept yourself, and grow. Yeah, and never hurt anybody through thoughts, through words, or through actions. Never hurt anybody. Then you are safe. You know, then you can take further steps. Otherwise, you go back again and again into mediocre existence, and no guru can help you, no God can help you. Thank you.